Hello, welcome to the BT360 podcast, What's Up in Business Travel, a weekly podcast where we update you on what's up this week in the world of business travel. This podcast is great for those who need to know what's happening, all in less than 15 minutes. My name is Ash. Let's get started. It is Monday, February 24th, and we've completed week 7 of 2025. As a reminder, BusinessTravel360.com is a great resource to take advantage of for everything business travel. Here you can listen to great podcasts, take advantage of bonus points and status match offers, and even have some fun with some great videos. Check all of this out at BusinessTravel360.com. Now, let's get to the headlines. U.S.-based travel agency sales climbed to $9.3 billion in January of 2025, according to the latest data from ARC. The figure marks a 5% increase from January 2024 and arrives at the heels of a record year. Total sales was up 39% month-over-month, while total passenger trips were up 40% month-over-month. Of the 26.7 million total passengers that ARC settled in January of 2025, 16 million came from U.S. domestic travel, while the remaining 10 million came from international travel. According to ARC, NDC transactions accounted for nearly one-fifth, or almost 20% of the total transactions last month, which is a 9% increase from the 16.9% in January 2024. Finally, the average ticket price came in at $557, up 1% from December, but up 2% from January 2024. For the second straight month, U.S. hotel revenue per available room, an average daily rate in January increased strongly year over year, and occupancy also increased according to hotel analytics firm STR. U.S. RevPAR in January increased almost 5% points to almost $80, while ADR increased 3.5% points to $151, and occupancy rose 1% to 52.5%. These increases were similar for those reported for December 2024. STR noted that several factors played a role in the RevPAR increase, including the U.S. presidential inauguration, the Los Angeles wildfires, and continued recovery from the hurricanes Helene and Milton, which caused extensive damage in the southeast last autumn. STR also said that the top 25 markets showed higher occupancy in ADR than all the other markets. Tampa, Florida, registered the highest December occupancy rate among STR's top 25 cities at 80%, up almost 17.5% year over year. It is the first time since July of 2024 that a city other than New York City led the monthly occupancy rate. St. Louis logged the lowest occupancy rate at almost 43%, followed by Minneapolis at 43.1%. Nearly two-thirds of hoteliers surveyed in December and January by the American Hotel and Lodging Association reported that their properties were short-staffed, a figure lower than the recorded in a pair of similar surveys in 2024. About 9% of the 282 hoteliers surveyed from December to January described their properties as severely understaffed. About 47% of hotel respondents indicated that they've offered higher wages to fill the roles. The most frequently cited position within hotels that were short-staffed was housekeeping at 38%, while hotel front desk roles was at 26%. Sabre reported a 4% increase year over year in global bookings in the fourth quarter, and the company expects significant volume growth in air distribution this year, according to Sabre's president and CEO. For the full year of 2024, Sabre's global bookings totaled $363 million, up 2% from 2023, and the average booking fee was up 3% to almost $6. Distribution revenue for the full year increased 6% year over year to $2.2 billion. Sabre's Hospitality Solutions business reported revenue of $81 million in the fourth quarter, up 8% year over year. That was driven by an increase in GDS transactions as part of new customer deployments. IT solution revenue declined 1% year over year to $145 million in the fourth quarter. Sabre's total revenue for the fourth quarter increased 4% to $714 million, and Sabre reported a net loss of almost $75 million for the quarter, an improvement from the $96 million loss in the fourth quarter of 2023. For the full year, Sabre's net loss was $278 million, about half the net loss of $541 million in 2023. Now in news that impacts the travel industry. Southwest Airlines announced a 15% reduction in their corporate overhead workforce, including senior leadership and directors, a move set to affect approximately 1,750 employees. 11 members of Southwest's senior leadership, holding titles of vice president and above, and representing 15% of the company's senior management committee, are part of the downsizing. The airline said that the layoffs will be completed by the end of the second quarter. According to an email from Southwest spokesperson, the airline has no plans to change its focus areas within Southwest business. Southwest estimates that the cuts will generate about $210 million in the partial year of 2025, with a full year 2026 savings of about $300 million. Corporate Travel Management reported a 6% decline in revenue in the first half of its 2025 fiscal year. Revenue and other income for the period, which ran from July to December of 2024, totaled about $217 million, a decline from the $230 million in the first half of 2024. Revenue declined in Europe and Asia, but was up in North America and Australia. In North America, revenue increased 6% year over year, while in Europe the revenue decline was 43% year over year, and in Asia, CTM's revenue declined 7% year over year. Spirit Airlines has been cleared of its biggest financial hurdle so far by coming out of Chapter 11. That is in line with the initial promised date of March 31st. The airline entered the restructuring process with about $3.8 billion in debt. The U.S. Bankruptcy Court for the Southern District of New York approved the airline's plan to continue operating as a business. That is the most critical and often most difficult part of a corporate restructuring. The approval means that Spirit will come out of bankruptcy protection soon and have more certainty over flight operations that affect travelers. Under the approved restructuring plan, Spirit Airlines will receive $350 million of new equity investment and enter into a new revolving credit of $300 million. Spirit Airlines first filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy back in November of 2024, being the first U.S. airline to do so since American Airlines in 2011. Having failed to record a full year of profit since the COVID-19 pandemic, Spirit Airlines has been facing losses of around $360 million just in the first half of 2024. Let's get to the news of mergers and new partnerships. Intercontinental Hotels Group said it will acquire Ruby Hotel brand in a deal worth up to $300 million, marking an expansion of its European portfolio. The acquisition will add another brand to IHG Hotels and Resorts portfolio, which already includes Crowne Plaza, Kimpton, and Holiday Inn. The deal reflects the ongoing consolidation in the global hospitality industry. Many independently run hotel brands face distribution pressures that are increasingly pushing them into franchising, sales, or other partnerships with major hotel groups like IHG. Ruby's premium economy concept targets travelers with space-efficient rooms, self-service check-in, and 24/7 bars. IHG is not buying Ruby's operating company, just the brand rights. Ruby will continue operating current hotels under the franchise agreements with IHG. The CEO of IHG sees this as more than just a European move. He plans to launch Ruby in the US by the end of the year. Air India and Virgin Australia have announced a strategic codeshare agreement enhancing travel connectivity between India and Australia. The partnership allows Air India passengers flying from Delhi to Melbourne or Sydney to seamlessly connect to 16 additional destinations across Australia and New Zealand. Under this unilateral codeshare agreement, Air India will place its AI code on Virgin Australia's domestic flights, enabling passengers to book a single ticket with through-checked luggage to the final destination. The expanded network includes major Australian cities such as Brisbane, Perth, and Darwin. Passengers connecting to Virgin Australia flights will have access to premium cabin services across both airlines. The Lufthansa Group and Air India have expanded their codeshare partnership to include Austrian Airlines as well as additional routes on Air India, Lufthansa, and Swiss Airlines. The number of routes in the agreements between Air India, Lufthansa, and Swiss have expanded to nearly 100 from 55. In total, the partnership is adding about 60 codeshare routes operated by the four airlines across 12 Indian and 26 European cities. Virgin Atlantic and WestJet have announced an expansion in their planned codeshare agreement to strengthen business, leisure, and visiting family and friend connections between Canada and the UK. The current agreement, which will allow for convenient onward connections for travelers flying from Canada to India via London, will see a range of enhancements in the coming months as the two airlines develop stronger ties and improve competition in the UK to Canada market. Virgin Atlantic will relaunch its Toronto route in March of 2025, offering a springboard for codeshare agreement to commence in full. Additionally, under the expansion plans, the two airlines will co-locate in Terminal 3 at Toronto Airport, where Virgin Atlantic says it will partner with the Greater Toronto Airports Authority and the Canadian Border Services Agency to support customer connections onwards via eligible cities under the codeshare agreement. Being under one roof will allow for customers traveling between the airlines to have their luggage transferred between flights of the respective airlines. And now, news of new travel services and improvements. Southwest Airlines has finally entered the world of red-eye flying. The airline's first 5 overnight flights took off from Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and Phoenix and headed for destinations east of the Mississippi River. Southwest greeted the launches with fanfare, handing out gift bags to passengers. For now, the airline's 5 red-eye flights connect Las Vegas to Baltimore and Orlando, Los Angeles to Baltimore and Nashville, and Phoenix to Baltimore. By June, Southwest said it will offer over 33 overnight flights. The airline's inception of red-eye flying has been an offering for a while, but was incorporated last year into a broader commercial plan geared towards improving financial performance, which since the pandemic has lagged far behind Delta, United, Alaska, and American. The plan also includes the introduction in 2026 of assigned seating and extra legroom seats. India's domestic travel sector is set for expansion, with new airports in Noida and Navi Mumbai easing congestion and stabilizing flight prices. However, high hotel costs still remain a challenge for travelers. Amid these changes, online travel giant Yatra is shifting its strategy, prioritizing corporate travel over direct consumer bookings. This move aligns with growing demand for efficient and tech-driven business travel solutions. Corporate travel now accounts for 60% of Yatra's business, signaling a shift towards a more stable and scalable revenue stream. The company is leveraging technology to enhance corporate booking experiences, aiming for long-term growth. As India's travel landscape evolves, Yatra's strategic pivot highlights the increasing importance of business travel in shaping the industry's future. With new infrastructure developments, the sector is poised for further transformation. The latest Chase Sapphire Lounge is now open at the Philadelphia International Airport. The 20,000 square foot space is located past the security gates in the connector between terminals D and E. It includes a beer garden, a game room, wellness area, bookable private rest pods, showers, and a private communal workspaces. The company in the last few years has opened up Sapphire Lounges in Phoenix, San Diego, as well as LaGuardia and Boston Logan. With that, thank you for joining us, and I would like to ask you to tune in again next week on Monday morning to get your weekly update. We hope that you will make this a regular part of your week and listen in while you're on the move or sitting back and sipping your coffee. You can subscribe to this podcast by searching Business Travel 360 on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, or Pandora. Be sure to share this podcast with everyone you know so that they can also benefit from getting to know more about what's up in business travel. You can always find more information on businesstravel360.com. Have a great day and travel well.